Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to do our Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2024 pickup video. Wow.
Finally.
Finally. What do you mean finally? Finally it's 2024 or finally we're doing our pickup video?
It's finally PRGE.
Oh, it's finally PRGE. All right. Yeah, PRGE was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
We've been busy.
Mm-hmm. We have been, yes.
But, what?
You got a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of stuff. I love PRGE.
You went into it saying, the prices are too high. I don't know what I want. I'm not going to get that much.
Yeah. Well.
You wrong.
I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. Okay, so here's the theme. Hold that up. We got our badges.
I don't know what the theme is.
I don't know. We don't know what the theme is. Like somewhat Sega Genesis and somewhat PlayStation and somewhat some kind of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. If you guys know what these things are, why those are part of the artwork, let us know. But I know it was the 35th anniversary of the release of the Genesis this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the U.S. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But they still put PlayStation controllers
Yes.
on the badges.
On the badges.
So,
Okay.
all right. Pretty good year.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of stuff. This is my favorite video of the year to do because we always get so much good stuff. And we historically start with
The manuals.
the manuals. I'm not saying that. All right. So we did pretty good. Now, so here's the thing.
Okay.
Now, I remember when we first went to PRGE in 2013, so 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
The manuals were an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, you'd put up a big stack and they would throw a number at you that was around $1 a piece.
50 cents to $1.
Well, in the last few years, price charting has decided to chart manual prices separately. I don't know where they're getting this information from, but now everybody is doing that.
Yes, and they are way...
They're a lot more expensive
way
than they
too
used to
expensive.
be.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop me from buying some that I needed, including Street Racer for the Atari 2600. I've got multiple copies of this game. I think I bought this for my numbered copy.
Okay.
That's the copy with the number on the spine of the cartridge. And then we got a bunch of NES games.
Oh.
This is where
Manuals.
the manual prices got insane.
You said games.
Oh, manuals. 720 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, you know.
Do you have that game?
Yeah, I do, but I have very little interest in it, so I don't know, you know.
Why'd you buy the game?
Oh, this still has a price sticker on it. I wonder if I paid that.
Hmm.
$15 for Adventure
No.
Island 2. Yeah. I don't think we paid that. Donkey Kong Jr., this was another.
Oh, yeah.
This one wasn't $1, I'll tell you that.
That one, they said, that's expensive.
This was a cheaper one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite places to get cheap manuals were still the cheaper places to get manuals. I think we got Jackal there. And I think we got 720 degrees there, too.
Yeah.
Mappy Land, another slightly pricey one. Robo Warrior. Your brother gave me this game, so I bought the manual.
Okay.
$7. I don't think I paid that. And then these two. Volleyball, Black Label, and Wrecking Crew. Black Label. The Black Label, man. Didn't find any Tengen manuals this year. Oh, we've still got more. And one more. This says $7 on it. I don't know what I paid. Warriors Woods for the Super Nintendo. Awesome. All right. That was the manuals. So now I want to talk about, we had our friend James Retropixel come all the way from Canada, Ontario. So he stayed with us,
Yes,
and
he
he
did.
was bearing gifts.
A big box.
Now we have another video that will show all of the big box of gifts, but inside that box was also 2 games that he gave me. One of them was Little Nemo Dream Master. Now James apparently watches our videos and he takes careful notes because he knew that I had the manual for this but not the cartridge. So he brought me the cartridge. That's the second time he's done that.
So he helped you out.
So thank you, James. But in addition to that, he got me Super Mario RPG for the Switch. This is sealed.
Brand new.
Brand new. He knew I wanted it. This is very generous. This is not a, you know, this is still at retail. This is still somewhat.
Like
I hope we got a good deal.
Like we always said, he's a really nice guy.
He's a really nice guy.
Like the nicest guy.
Yeah,
ever.
we've said that. I think we were the first to say that. All right, you can do this
No,
one.
this one's mine. Okay, So Kelsey Lewin, she owns Pink Gorilla, which is a store in the Northwest in
Does she
Washington.
own it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
She co-owns it, I should
She's certainly affiliated with the
Yes.
store.
She wrote a book from Boss Fight Books about Animal Crossing. So, of course, I had to get that. That was my pickup. This is my pickup.
Your one pickup?
My pickup. And she was so kind to sign it.
Yeah.
And she drew a villager.
A villager for us.
Mm-hmm.
For you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice to... I like these boss fight books.
Mm-hmm.
I especially like getting them at PRGE because typically the authors are there. I think this is... It's either the third or the fourth one we have.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them have been signed by the author.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the third. We have that one, Katamari, and...
A Final Fantasy one.
A Final Fantasy V by Chris Koa. That was the
Chris
first
Koa,
one I got.
yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. So that was really cool. Yeah, it was good to see Kelsey at the expo, and she was there.
Yes.
So it's hit or miss, depending, when you go to the booth, she might
That's
not
true.
be there.
She's not always
Different
there,
people
so,
are there,
it was good to see her.
She was
because
there,
when
yeah.
we walked back, because we walked by those booths several times, she wasn't there the other time. So
Yeah. All right. I wanted to do a couple of small rando things.
Okay.
I did get this at PRGE this year. This is Jurassic Park for the Game Gear. Now, I got this last year as a gift from James. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Yes.
I couldn't get it to work. I've tried all year to get it to work. I can't get it to work. I finally bit the bullet and just bought another copy. But I still consider this a gift from James. And then another random small thing I got was Centipede for the 5200. I bought this because I needed the overlays.
You have
I needed
right?
one overlay.
Yeah.
And this had two. And I paid $2 for it to get one overlay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to flip the other cartridge and I'll maybe give it one of the overlays. And then, anyway, I figured I would pay $2 to get an overlay to complete my Centipede for the 5200. But I already have this game. So that was kind of dumb. I bought that on the first night when I was like, I'm not going to spend a lot of money. All right, you want to do these?
Oh, sure. I always get things for the girls, and so I looked around. They didn't have, before they had, a lot of places had different kinds of stickers that they haven't seen before, or different kind of buttons, and it seemed like the same people were there, or there wasn't as many as they liked. So I just found these buttons for them. They picked them out. The cake is a lie. I think this is for maybe our middleest now. Our oldest has one already. Animal Crossing Fossil and I don't know how people say it. Gyroid. So
yeah,
just little pins for them.
I have bad news. I am pretty sure we've already bought those pins.
Yeah, I know.
At
The
a
girls,
previous expo.
The girls have said they're like, oh, so different girls bought different ones this time.
Okay, because that cake is alive. We have that.
Yes, I know. I said that's why it's
okay.
for our middleest now.
Oh, okay.
Because I think our oldest.
So now they're
has
just
it.
rotating
Yeah.
them. Okay. Yeah. So I've seen those pins before.
Yes.
All right, and then moving on, there was an Atari Repair Parts. That's the name of the place. The booth was called Atari Repair Parts, and they had a Atari 72800 power supply. What do you want to call it? Aftermarket, new hardware. Power supplies, especially the 7800 because it's got a custom plug. One of the things I always like to have lots of spares of. So when I saw this, it was like $13. I'm like, you know what? I'll waste $13 on it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, it's $13. Hopefully it won't burn out my 7800. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I decided to buy that. And while I was there, actually I bought these first.
Yeah, you did.
They had 5200 repair kits for $20
for the controllers.
For the controllers. This is the film, the buttons, all the buttons are pushed. I bought these a couple years ago from another site. They were like $60-something a piece or something. And so this is like a third the price. And I was talking to the guy and he's like, well, yeah, no, you gotta watch out for that stuff. Those are ripoffs. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've always seen them for that kind of price, but these guys had them for $20. So again, I figured, well, for $20 or $40 because I bought two of them, I'll take a chance. I got a bunch of 5200
plus
controllers.
Their name is Atari Repair Parts.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what I'll do is I'll put them in, and then after a couple of years, I'll see how well they work. That'll be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with 5200 controllers. you can get them to work, but then after months or years,
Not
they stop.
using them, yeah.
Even not using them. So we'll see how those go. I haven't installed them yet, but I got plenty of controllers to try them in. All right, let's move on to some... Didn't get a lot of Atari stuff this year. I told myself I was going to only look at Atari on the second day, or the third day, the last day. And I kind of did that. But as is usual for PRGE, I didn't have as much money on the third day. And I was tired, and I didn't really feel like looking at all the Atari games. Plus, Atari games are not as fun to collect anymore because they're insanely expensive.
Yeah.
They're not $1 anymore. It's like you flip through a filthy box of Atari games, and when they're $1 a piece, you can grab a handful, but that's not the case anymore. All right, so I found 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Now, this has been on my want list for years. I've never been able to find one. Finally found one. I love these text labels, and it's in really clean shape, so I grabbed that. And then, I think we bought these separately.
We
Do you remember?
did, yes.
I don't even know. I've never even heard of this game, Hunt and Score. I don't know what this is. Oh, it uses keypad controls. Well, that might be... I have keypad controls, but we found the manual for it.
Yes.
At another
Like
thing.
shortly after we bought it, I was like, oh, wait.
I love it when that happens. Buy the game, buy the manual, boom, you're all set. So those are the only Atari games I got. But I did get an Intellivision game, which I have not gotten an Intellivision game in a long time. But you may recall last year at PRGE, I got a box of junk.
Yes.
And in that box of junk was a bump and jump overlay. Now, just having a single overlay was annoying to me. Rather than throw out the overlay, I said, now I have to get another overlay and the box and the manual and the cartridge. And so that's what I did.
Oh my gosh.
Except I didn't get the manual. But there was a place, I couldn't believe it, they had bump and jump.
I was not with you when you bought that.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
And so I'll tell you the story.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I bought another game with it, and I'll tell you the story then. It came with the box, it came with the cartridge, and it came with 2 overlays. Okay, so now I have 3 overlays. So now I have to get the game again.
No.
No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. But, okay, so I bought this to collect, because I had 1 overlay, but now I have 3. So I could have just done nothing, and I'd be in the same situation.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's bump and jump. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
No.
I think it's a pretty good Intellivision game to have. You don't know. You didn't even know. So, all right. So we bought bump and jump.
Well, I like how you did it when I wasn't around.
No. I'll tell you why. There's another game, and you'll know. You'll remember why.
Okay.
All right. What should we do next? We'll go with the old stuff. Let's go with the old stuff. Okay. So this is a stack of ColecoVision games. I went ColecoVision heavy this year instead of Atari. Now, there's a guy there, Jeremy,
yes.
He sold me my Sega Scope 3D system back at PRG 2022. And I also bought some ColecoVision games from him. And every time I see him, and I've seen him at the PRGEs, and he even came to the swap meet once or twice, and I always ask him, oh, did you bring your ColecoVision games? And he usually says, yeah, I don't pull them out. You're the only one who ever asks for them. And he said the same thing this year that he said last year. He said, pick out a whole handful, and if you pick out a big bundle, we'll make a deal. And I said, okay, fine. I said, fine, okay, because there's not money left that I want. But I did pick out a big handful from his booth, and he made me a pretty good deal. One of them at the bottom is very exciting. Actually, let me do this one we bought separately. So I didn't get this one from that booth. This is Pit Stop. I think we got this with 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. They were doing like 40% off Atari ColecoVision games. So I grabbed... Now this is interesting. Now, note, this is an Epix game, Pit Stop. But notice it has an Imagic style with this little grip cartridge. And it's by Epix. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so back to the Jeremy booth. I got... and I looked at them on Saturday, and then I went online Saturday night. I took a picture of all of them. I said, let me get back to you Sunday. I'll pick out the ones I want. And I watched videos of all of these. And I decided, okay, these are kind of cool. Fortune Builder. Okay. ColecoVision game. Good label. Okay, this is what I'm interested in. Gateway to AppShy. Now notice this game is an Epix game, but it's not in an Imagic cartridge. That's weird. I don't know what that means. Epix had 2 different cartridge styles. Okay, Gateway to AppShy. Jumpman Jr. Now this looks like a game that I played on my PC years ago. My CGA IBM PC called Jump Joe. I think Jump Joe might have been might have copied this game. But this looks pretty fun. Here's a real Imagic game, Moonsweeper. This is my first Imagic game for the ColecoVision.
Okay.
I even looked at it and said, oh yeah, this is definitely ColecoVision. All right, now the two good ones.
Okay.
Parker Brothers. I don't know how to pronounce this. Tutankhamun? I have this for the Atari. Seemed like it'd be cool to have for the ColecoVision. Okay, now this is the big one. This is the most expensive one. And I'd seen this ever since I bought the Sega Scope. And it was like, I can't afford that. This is insane. I'm not paying that for a ColecoVision game. The game is Q*bert's Cubes. This is a little bit of a rare game. And I think it's rare. It's expensive. But I put all this stuff together, and I'm pretty happy with the price.
Yes.
You thought, you weren't as happy. I was pretty happy. You thought I was paying too much still. But,
they are ColecoVision games.
1, 2, what do we get? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ColecoVision games. Not bad. Very nice. Okay. So that was fun. So I'm happy about those. Those are an exciting collection. And then I said...
Are you going to tell us about the iMagic? Or you're just saying that...
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't know what it means.
Okay.
That's not the thing that the Bump and Jump story is for.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So then I thought, going into PRGE, I said, I'm going to go heavy on... I'm going to try to go heavy on Dreamcast.
Yes, I remember that.
And I got bored collecting platinum hits for Xbox, so I decided to collect Sega All-Stars for Dreamcast.
Oh, no.
Because I got 2 for my brother earlier this year. I grabbed Virtua Tennis, Sega All-Stars version.
It's
Orange.
actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, I already have this game. Now I got it twice. Variant. All right, then I grabbed 4 other games that they were all on my wish list. They all seemed pretty cool. Looney Tunes Space Race. Awesome. Racing game. Silver. This one's been on, I've had my eye on ever since. I think this might be close to a launch game. Another RPG. Wacky Races.
Look at that. You got Wacky Races.
We know someone else who got Wacky Races at PRGE, and it wasn't this one. And then a game I couldn't believe I didn't have for the last 20 years, World Series 2K2. Cheap. So, I'm filling out my my 2K series sports games for the Dreamcast. 2K1, sorry. 2K1. All right.
Okay.
So that was Dreamcast. So I'm pretty excited about some of those.
That's kind of a lot of Dreamcast for you.
Yeah, 5. That's a lot. Oh, and it means I crossed 100 Dreamcast games at PRGE.
Look at you.
Now, some of them are duplicates or variants. I don't have 100 and I have 101. I don't have 100 unique games, but I have 101 collection items. All right, and then I also I got some Genesis games. I'm always on the lookout for, well, this is interesting. I decided to go this year, I decided to try to get NHL 93, 94, and 95. And I bought what I thought was 93, but it wasn't. It was just NHL hockey, 91. And I already have that, so I'm not showing it here. I gave it to your brother. James helped us get a deal on these. But I did get NHL 94, which is supposedly, I think, the best one. And then James or somebody, maybe it was Rocket, were telling us about a documentary about this game, which I watched, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then NHL 95. Okay, so now here's the deal. I have NHL 93, 94, 95, 96. There's only 97 and 98 left.
Oh, wow.
And I have all the Maddens,
that's
so...
what you have to do.
Anyway, so, and I have NHL 94 for the Sega CD, but it's kind of, I don't know. For some reason, I like to buy football and hockey games. I have no interest in these sports generally, but I buy the games. Okay, like I won't buy basketball or, baseball. That's just because this is a Dreamcast game. But NHL hockey always seemed interesting. All right.
I don't get it.
I don't know. It's just a thing that I decided. I'm going to buy the NHL and the Madden games for the Sega Genesis. All right. This one, this is just a black.
Yeah, I don't know why you got that.
It looks cool. I played it.
Okay.
It seems pretty cool. I don't know why this wasn't on my list. This was not on my list. I thought I had all the Black Label Genesis games on my list, but this wasn't on it. So I added it. I pulled an audible. That's a football term. I pulled an audible and added this to the list at PRGE.
See, buying those football games.
I shouldn't talk because I'm just going to embarrass myself. All right. And then we got this. This has been on my list for a while.
Yes.
And I finally bit the bullet and said, I don't care. It's a cardboard box. It's not going to be in great shape. It's 30 years old.
Is this the one where you thought there was a hardcover?
I thought it came in a hardcover case at one point, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Like this was back in like,
It was
not the 90s
like
when
a
I was
Nelson Mandela thing,
Yeah.
like a Mandela effect.
Mandela, maybe,
Yeah.
but no one else ever thinks that. So it's just.
Yeah.
So what is it?
It's Vector Man.
Vector Man for
Yeah.
the Sega Genesis.
It's actually in good shape.
It's
for
in
a
pretty good
cardboard
shape for
box.
cardboard.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it in a case anyway. I make repro covers and stick it in there. So that's cool. So I'm really glad to finally have Vector Man in
Yeah.
the collection. That's a
You've
nice one.
wanted that for a long time.
Yeah, I've wanted it for a long. I've wanted it since
A
like
long
1996.
time. Yes, a long time.
All right, so now these are my these are my favorites.
These are like the top.
These are my favorite
primo.
pickups.
Okay.
All right, so this is.
Do that
Can we
one?
talk about this one?
Yeah.
Limited Run often has
A booth.
stock. They have booth. They have old stock there. And I said if they have this Operation Galuga, I will buy it. And I had intended to buy it for the Switch. But I think you guys talked to me or somebody said something. I said, no, get it for the PS5.
Yeah.
I'm like,
trophies.
all right. Oh, yeah, trophies. It probably runs better. So I got the PS5 version of Contra Operation Galuga for the PS5.
I think
Awesome.
I think we were talking with Rocket, and he said trophies. And then later when we saw James, he heard that the Switch version wasn't as good. So
Probably better off getting that. All right,
Can we
what's
talk about
this?
this one?
Yeah, you want to talk about
Okay,
it? Do you know the story?
well, I was gonna say this one's been on your wish list for a long time, and we were looking for it, and you like never see it.
I've seen it once, and that
Yeah.
was at Too Many Games in 2019.
And so we were looking, and so you kept saying, "Oh, help me out and look for this game." So I looked, and I was like, "Oh, here it is." And you're like, "Really?"
I couldn't believe it.
And I was like, "Yeah," and it's sealed.
It's sealed.
Yes,
It's
PlayStation.
Mobile Light Force.
Yes. Go ahead. What were you gonna
Nothing.
say?
I have been looking at PS1 spines for a decade at every expo we go to, looking for this game, and I have only seen it twice.
Yeah.
Once was at Too Many Games, and I walked away because I think it was $25, and I didn't want to pay that. This time you found it. It was sealed. I even spoke to somebody once, and they had never even heard of the game. Now, the game is Mobile Light Force. It's Gunbird. It's a rebranding of Gunbird on the PlayStation. Now, apparently they took out all of the cutscenes and the story, but it's the game Gunbird, which is a vertical shoot 'em up, a Psycho vertical shoot 'em up. It was released on the Dreamcast. It was released on the Switch. I have it on the Switch, but I've always wanted this because I have Mobile Light Force 2 for the PlayStation 2, which is not Gunbird 2. It's Castle of Shikigami or something. It's two different series. Anyway, we found it sealed. You found it sealed, and I'm like, just buy it. Now I might not even open it because I can play the game elsewhere, but I am tickled pink that I got this. This is fantastic, and it is in great shape. And you know what? When I put it in my spreadsheet and did the final calculations for what it cost, $25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it only cost us $25. You got a really good deal when you bundled all this stuff. So sealed PlayStation game. Wow. I might just leave it sealed because it's been like a white whale.
Yeah.
I love this. Okay, here's another one. We got this at Pink Gorilla.
Oh yeah, that's right. PNO3. I
This
have
has
to say
been-
that correctly because some people say I say it wrong. PNO3.
Piano 3.
PNO3.
PNO3. Now, this is one of the few GameCube games that I really had left on my list. I thought I would never get it. I kind of stopped looking for it. But it was sitting right in a display case at Pink Gorilla, and she was signing your book. And I said, well, what about throwing this? Throw this one in. Throw this one on the pile. And so she did. She gave us a deal.
Yep.
So really happy to have PNO3 finally. This is one of the, I don't know, I think Rocket called it the Capcom 6. There were like 6 games that were going to come from Capcom exclusive to the GameCube. Resident Evil 4 was one of them. This was also one of them. Glad to finally have that. Okay, this is the game.
Oh,
This is the game I bought Bump and Jump with. Silent Hill 2 Platinum Hits Restless Dreams for the Xbox. Now,
you went over there because you tried to get it the one day and it wasn't. He wouldn't budge.
it was marked at, I'll tell you, it was, no, it's not that he didn't budge. He said it was marked at 55. And so I said, I'll ask if he'll do price charting price. And so then I looked up price charting price and it was 55. And I was like, darn it. So I walked away because I'm like, I can't even negotiate on price charting. I went back the next day. And what happened was we were going to do, I was going to go up and look at it and check it out or whatever. And then you were going to go up and make an offer on it. But what happened is I saw Bump and Jump and I saw this and I was like, and then I just made him an offer and he accepted it.
Okay.
I will tell you that this was $55. I paid $55 for both.
I know that already.
You knew that?
Yes.
That's not bad. So everybody's been talking about this game
Are you
lately.
sure it's not bad?
No, it is all right. But I bought, so here's a so
I got this for $25.
I know. So Silent Hill 2 is considered very good.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about it, obviously, because it's been re-released recently. But this was one of the few platinum hits. It's like, I should get this because it's a platinum hits and I don't have it, and it's Silent Hill 2 on the Xbox. So really glad to have this. It's in really good shape.
Okay.
Nice. You should be happy
Very nice.
for me.
Very nice.
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
These are
the two big ones.
These are the two big ones.
So I'd recently played this first game we're going to talk about, and I thought, you know what? I would like to own it. Okay, so now I just revealed. I played it in a questionable manner, perhaps. I own it on the Genesis. So I didn't feel too bad about playing the game on a different system. But I finally decided to, once I had played it, I finally decided to go ahead and get a legitimate copy of Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys for the TurboGrafx. Now I can say I played it and I bought it, I paid my dues, I own this game. I'm going to sell the Genesis version. I've been playing the Ys series on the TurboGrafx. I've decided Ys is a TurboGrafx series, at least the first 4 games, and I'm going to probably get rid of my Genesis copy, which I've had for years and years and years. So really happy to get Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys for the TurboGrafx CD. Now that I have an analog duo, I can play this actual disc. I got this from Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
So he's really been knocking out, I've been knocking out a lot of good stuff from his table.
Yes,
so
that's true.
Really happy to get that, and he gave me a deal on that too. And then the big purchase the expo is,
this was your heavy hitter, right?
it was my heavy hitter. I had looked at the prices. Last year it was $400. This year it was $300.
People that
Who cares? This year price charting had it at $3. I didn't pay that because we got it from our old friends.
Oh, that's true.
Luigi
Yes.
Freakout 123.
That's right. Tyler and Terry had a booth. They were selling their collection, their NES collection. So we knew it was good stuff. So we went over there and took a look. And what did you find?
Somebody told me that they had Gun Knack. Now, I've known about this game for 30 years or more. My brother's friend, he told me about this game years and years ago. He had been trying to get it from Funcoland in like the 90s. It was hard to get then, but it was a heck of a lot cheaper. He did eventually get a copy, but he informed me this is like in the same series as Xanac. It's an Alesta game. It's by the same guys, and so I've had this on my wish list for a while, but the price just kept going up, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay that for an NES game. But the price started coming down, and those guys Terry gave me a really reasonable, very good price. He knows us. He knows I'm going to collect this. This is for me. I'm not going to flip it. And so he gave me a very reasonable price, and it's from Terry. So this is staying with me.
Yeah.
I watched those guys 10, 11 years ago when they were on YouTube, and we met them at the very first PRGE we went to. So
that's right.
Really, it's really something to have this game from them in the collection. And I almost always take this kind of stuff off, but I'm leaving it on. I'm leaving this sticker on because that's how Terry had it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be I'll always remember I got this from them. So really grateful and glad to have Gun Knack. I've been playing it. It's not that hard a game, which is perfect for me. I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So really glad to have this. But that's not all.
It was Rocket who told you it because he was looking for things too.
Rocket, our friend Ryan, also went to that booth, and those guys were selling some of the really NES big heavy hitters. Check out our other video. And check out Rocket Sauce's pickup video. He doesn't make them, but he got some heavy hitters there. So we did that both at the same time. So that was early on the Saturday. It was pretty early. I think this is like one of the first things I bought.
Yes, it is.
On that day. And
but
then,
that's not all. We also found the manual.
The manual.
Yes. So it was perfect.
Yes.
We saw this.
We saw that Friday night.
Yes, we saw
all
this
by
Friday,
itself.
Yes. And you thought that you were like, well, I'm going to buy it this weekend, but it was a little bit of wavy action.
Yeah.
A little bit of crinkle action.
Crinkle.
So we weren't sure, and plus you weren't sure if you were definitely going to buy the game or not.
But
So.
once I bought the game, we headed back to that booth and said,
Actually, we didn't buy this till Sunday, remember?
Do we wait?
Yeah, we waited.
Okay, we waited.
We waited so we can get a deal.
I got it all. This is it for me. This is how I consider NES collection complete. I'm not going for cardboard. Manual and game, I could not be happier.
Yep.
Great pickup. Great pickup with Ease 3. I got a lot of great stuff. And I've been having fun playing it. I tested all this stuff.
Yeah.
It all works.
Yeah.
Everything is great.
Another good PRGE.
Very good PRGE. And I shouldn't admit this, but we spent more at this PRGE than I've ever spent. This was our biggest one. Even the year I got the Sega Scope. We spent
Even the
more
year
this year.
you got Buster Douglas.
Yeah. But part of that is because I had been selling off some of my other games. We've been downsizing some stuff, and we've been selling off stuff around the house.
Can you believe we've been downsizing?
Yeah, well, I've been getting rid of stuff around the house to fund my collection a little bit better, to make you happier, and me happier because I got to get rid of some junk.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's why, and plus, games are getting more expensive. But it was a fantastic year. Good pickups, good friends, good times. It was good food.
I liked the floor plan too this year. Oh yeah. Last year it was like real tight, and this year they spread people out, and then there was like extra aisles, like perpendicular. Like it was good. I thought it was good overall.
The layout was very good.
Yeah.
It was as big as it's ever been. It took up 2.5 halls at the Expo Center. That's as big as it was last year too.
And they had some really good people there too. Like they had the Mortal Kombat people. They had the Atari guy.
Nolan Bushnell was there, and I got to see him in person. That was a lot of fun.
Johnny Millennium came back. Johnny
was back. He hasn't been back in like 10 years, so we got to see Johnny. That was he's such a nice guy. He's such a friendly guy.
He is.
That was really nice. We got to talk to him for a bit, and we saw some.
And then we hung out.
There was a fire alarm.
Oh yeah, there was a fire alarm. Was that
middle of the second day? Yeah.
But anyway, so and we had our friends Rocket and James
stay
were
with
here,
us.
and Rob.
We saw Rob again. Rob has been hanging out with us for several years now. Does he come every year?
He has.
I think he comes every year.
Every year.
So we always see Rob. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the pickups are really good too.
So come out next year.
So yeah, if you're watching this, please come out. We got a whole thing that we do. We got a whole thing.
Yep. So it was good.
Yeah.
Good times.
All right. So that's the pickup video.
Yeah. All right. If you enjoyed the video, like us and subscribe.